And I'm going to bring one of the stories or incidents that happened on there, and I'm going to tell it on this. I'm about to finish rolling up, and then I'm going to share this story because I think that it's one that need to be shared. Because you know what? Being a teacher, I witnessed how, like, niggas love outing bitches doing shit. And it's like, so you got her to finally do something sexual with you, and then you gonna tell everybody, like, that's gay. And I'm only saying that because you're a male messing with a female, considered straight. I don't know if you're bisexual, right? If you are pressed to tell your niggas about the story, you pressed to talk about sex with your niggas on niggas pressed to talk to niggas. Technically, that's gay. Because you're more excited about the conversation with them than the actual action when you did the shit. To correct me, guys, I am not politically correct all the time. All I'm saying is that shit is weird. And I'm about to tell y'all a story about how a nigga tried to say some shit and, well, didn't you know that I was a savage? Let's start from the beginning, shall we? So let me just set the background. I'm pretty sure I went to school with this guy in high school. After graduating high school, I think I was 1 year older than him. We would text and stuff, and you know, I was up in Philly. So eventually one day or one weekend he was up in Philly, and it was about to go down. Or so I thought. So y'all know how people be like, oh, excuse my setup, you know. Okay. Don't play. Gotta get my shades set up. But you know how people always say, who hurt you, sis? I just saw a post actually on Twitter that said that shit is problematic as fuck. As a black woman, you should never be asking who hurt you, because it's like, but who hasn't though? You know what I'm saying? But that's a side part. Come back, Tasia. So basically, he had asked me maybe 2 or 3 days prior, like, who hurt you, sis? And you know, I gave my little spiel, and then I kept it moving, right? So I did the same thing. I was like, who hurt you, bro? Jokingly, of course, jokingly. This nigga says, you. Listen, I've probably hurt a lot of people's feelings in my day. It was just, again, this story is about a guy that I'm pretty sure we talked maybe 2013, 2014. So it's like, if I did hurt you, I'm unaware. We never conversed about it. Interesting. You know what I'm saying? But repressions and suppressions, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I just pushed it out. Maybe I just don't remember, right? I did not ask him how I hurt him because I did not give a fuck. And to be truthfully honest, I wasn't really interested in whatever lie he was going to create, because the reality is, sometimes I feel as though, yeah, I've done some hurtful shit, but the reality is I am a reciprocator. I am never just evil off the bat. I have never been that type of person. So it's like, I'm not saying that I was righteous in my actions of what I did, but I will say that I'm pretty sure you did something that preceded my devilish action. I'm just saying. So I just remembered a part, which I think is important. Like, I think this is an important part. Previously, before this conversation even began, he tried to talk to me in 2019. And I said, you have to pay me for my conversation because it is clear from the past. So I don't even remember everything, but I know my energy remembers that in the past, you did not value my time enough. So already I'm telling you, you have to pay me for your conversation. And yet on Twitter, I am still engaging in conversation publicly. And niggas just don't be appreciative. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you understand that my shit is like gold? My words. Do you get it? You don't. You can't. You don't see this value that I'm offering. That's why you don't respect my time. You don't. But bring it back. Bring it back, Tasia. Conversation. Who hurt you, bro? You. Stay like you hurt yourself. And to be truthfully honest, guys, there was more to that story, but I felt like Twitter wasn't the right place. So things I couldn't confirm were my thoughts, and I wasn't going to imply things that were assumed, so I left it as what I experienced, which was use me for a place to stay. Because he had took a nap. He didn't even like stay the night. I wasn't saying it like that. I was saying like, you took a nap in my house. That is enough stay for me personally. So his response was, stay. I left a girl's house to come see you. So why would you say that? Are you oh, you're proud? You're proud of it. Okay. I tell you guys what actually happened. Oh, I'm not even gonna say that. My experience, because he has his experience, I have my experience, and then there's the truth. But I'm gonna let y'all know my experience, which usually is pretty close to the truth. I'm just saying. I responded, I figured, didn't get it, but I figured, because like, if you're at somebody's house, why would you leave her house to come to? I'm explaining too why I didn't get that either. So yeah, I responded, and then I went to sleep. And when I woke up, he responded. Y'all, I woke up, thought I was gonna use the bathroom, check my phone, see if anything came through, and then go back to sleep, right? I woke up, my phone said, nah, I fingered you and that's it. Okay. Nigga, like, are you proud of that? Again, 2013, 2014. Look, I'm getting too carried away. Again, let me finish this story out first before I tell my side. So I wake up to that tweet, but I also wake up to a DM. I got a little too straightforward with that tweet. I apologize. I could be saying it wrong, but those are the main two sentences. I think I'm missing one. One of my best friends pointed out, straightforward was used wrong. That's not just straightforward. That's just like, I ain't got the right definition. Word can't connect to the definition, but I tell you, it wasn't straightforward. I'm straightforward. You know, it's I don't care about you saying it if it's in the right context. You feel me? Like, so my big issue is, if you gonna say that shit, like, stand on what the fuck you said. How you gonna send me a DM privately apologizing? Like, who the fuck does that? Listen, I responded at first and then I erased it, and I responded a second time and I was just like, I said something in the sense of, you publicly wilding and then privately apologizing for your actions is incongruent, and that like shows your character, something in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Go to Twitter and find it, because it's not letting me scroll to see it on my phone. It stops me at a certain day. Probably gotta get on the desktop. Kipp wasn't having it. Kipp was basically like, you know, I'm actually sick of niggas being able to like control the narrative. Like, nah, I'm gonna say something this time. So Kipp did her whole little spaz, turned it into a rap. It was really nice. I think it's way too inappropriate to say it right now. I am not in that mood. But it's on Twitter. But I came back today, and I'm here to like lay the story flat in like a perspective type of situation, because it's like, I know that as a woman healing her little girl, that would have fucked me up had I been younger. Like, I would have been like, what the fuck? Like, why did he... Nigga, are you serious? Like, we didn't even bust a nut together. Like, I don't get it. So, my side. First off, straight up, as soon as we started texting and talking, I feel as though we started talking because of probably some tweets I had or something. You know what I'm saying? People always think shit is subtweet, whatever that shit is, where, you know, like people, I am direct with mines. I have never been that person that sends out tweets to imply some other shit. That ain't never been who I is. It ain't who I'm gonna ever be. You feel me? So, like, put that aside. I told this nigga before we started fucking with each other, I only want a sex slave. I was looking for that for a while. I that's what I was having for a while. So, like, that kind of blew the shit out of me. Because it's like, we started on that dynamic. And then when you came to Philly, right? And I peeped that you staying with homegirl, right? I still ain't say nothing because I'm like, well, I still could, you know. Because that's where my mind was. It was a trash mindset, but still, that's where I was. So he comes over, fingers me. I try and touch him. And he pulls away. He pulled the fuck away. Why are you even here, though? Objectification, objectification, objectification. So after he pulls away, and I realize, so I don't have a sex slave. I'm not about to get no dick and this nigga in my bed. I have been aware, I was more aware at that point that I don't respond to those things well. So I stepped out my room for a second, right? So when I said that he stayed at my house, I was talking about however long that fucking nap was. Because that was a long enough stay for me. Bring it back, Tasia. Come on. So, I go out to the kitchen. I smoke. You know, calm down, bring it down, vent a little. Then I go back in there and tell him he gotta go. You gotta get the fuck up out of here. First of all, whenever a nigga stays at my house, you know what that rent fee is? Dick. Sorry. I mean, unless they're my friend, I'm just being honest. And see, the reason why he was so comfortable thinking he was going to say that to me was because all I said to him was get out. Because I knew all those other things would have been me trying to get back at him for showing up and not dropping them drawers. That's fucked up. I was just so confused at why. Like, that was what your response was. Like, because I'm like, so are you proud of it? Because you just said I hurt you. Like, what's up? Because I now that you done made me relive the story, I'm like, that's why I'm making you pay for the conversation. Not only did you waste my time, you tried to use your fingers and you ain't give me no dick. Nigga, you got all the 3 strikes in one get together, like one greeting? Damn. I wasn't that hard to please back then. You didn't even need to talk. Which brings me to a few excerpts that I'm about to read from my book, Sunshine.